see possibilities in the world, and I don't have to be restricted to only be called a divorced person, but I can be called a person with lots of experience who can be happy, that can create great life and can help other people at the same time.
Welcome to episode number 6 of the 100 Successful Women, A Conversation to Inspire series. Episode number 6 is also the beginning of my second milestone. I think I am going to share my learning every 5 episodes so that I can have a summary of what I have learned as well. I am really appreciating each and every one of you who provide me with so much valuable feedbacks throughout this journey. I am so grateful and so pumped to have more conversation with more of these successful women so that more of you can gain something out of it as well. So today, I am so happy to have one of my lovely friends, Slawka, joining us in this 100 Successful Women series. I have known Slawka for quite some time now from the coaching school that we attended together. She is someone who is so kind and loving. And throughout the year, she has been helping a lot of her clients to lead a happier lifestyle. If you did see my intro yesterday, I shared that Slawka is a motivational speaker, a life coach, and the founder of UTRANSFORMU. She helps a client to let go of their previous relationship after divorce and move on to a happier life. She shared a lot of important message in relation to her journey, and I believe it's going to inspire and help a lot of us in any relationship. Don't forget to also follow Slawka in the link below on social media because she's actually sharing her wisdom on there almost every day. Now, let us all check out what Slawka is sharing in our conversation coming up next. Hey, Slawka, I'm so good to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. So for those of you ladies or the women out there, I actually know Slawka for quite a few years already. But because of the COVID, we haven't seen each other for quite some time. But then I'm so grateful that Slawka willing to jump on here to share with us her golden nuggets today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's such a pleasure, especially that we haven't seen each other for such a long time now.
Yay.
Yeah, so, any excuse will do for me, you know.
Yay, so good to see you at least on the Zoom face, even though it's not face to face, but we still managed to see you on the Zoom. So do you mind to share with all this, our listeners out there a little bit about yourself, Slawka?
Yes, definitely. So first of all, I will share with you my name, which is Slawka.
Slawka. I think since I know you, I never got your name right, but then at least I didn't spell it wrongly.
No, it's perfect. It is perfect pronunciation. So I'm originally from Poland, and I came to Australia in year 2000 with my now ex-husband to just create another more beautiful life and with more opportunities. I have 2 daughters now, almost grown up, 17 and almost 20 years old, so they are almost like adults. And I've been divorced for now I stopped counting, you know. I think I counted up to 3 years, and now I just some time ago I got divorced, but now it is already 9 years. So since then, many things have changed, many things I have discovered about myself, about the world, and how different the world looks like now when I changed my marital status. And it's not worse than it was before. So it's a good thing.
Wow, amazing. It has been so many years. I remember when I first know you, I think your little girl probably is just started high school, if I'm not mistaken. Look at now,
Yes.
they're already like finished high school and in the different stages of your life now. So Slawka is actually the founder of the company, a coaching company called UTRANSFORMU. That's such a beautiful name, UTRANSFORMU. So Slawka is also a life coach, a motivational speaker. She actually, because of her experience or her journey with divorce, she's actually helping others out there who maybe experience the same thing to let go of their previous relationship. So because you mentioned a little bit about your experience with your divorce. So is that why you have this calling of helping others out there?
Yes, definitely, because I know how difficult it was for me to face the new reality, how scary it was. Like, I could not imagine that life can ever be happy. And I always, at this point, I thought my life will be only filled with fear and depression and just lack of fulfillment in life. So it was a very scary moment. And when I think about this, at this very moment, if I found someone, or maybe if I was looking for help, because this is another thing, I'm sure there were plenty of people who could help me, professional people, but I wasn't even open on searching or asking for help. And I think this is why I really want to be out there and be full on social media and giving this message, because I want people to see that there is help possible, available, and they don't have to wait 10, 20 years till the time heals your wounds, because they won't. Like, it will not heal, it will only put the band-aid on. And every time when you try to take the band-aid, it will be painful again. So at the time of the divorce, this was first thing that I realized I did not ask for help. And therefore, it took me much longer to heal myself. And something that helped me, probably after, it was already 3 years, yes. So this is when I think I stopped counting my years after divorce, because this is when I started my journey, or my joy with coaching, because I attended the workshop where the coaching was explained, and it was so engaging. I felt so peaceful and quiet after that, that although I joined this workshop just to participate and to take some information, I just felt the calling then, because I could feel how much it helped me in this, 2 days of workshop. I felt so much calmer, and like my mind opened to see that there are possibilities in the world, and I don't have to be restricted to only be called a divorced person, but I can be called the person with lots of experience, who can be happy, that can create great life, and can help other people at the same time.
So prior to that workshop, you didn't find out about this at all?
It is when I think about this, it is so strange, because very often people are in pain, as I was, but you still think that there's impossible that someone can help you, therefore you don't look for help. And this it's like catch-22. You need help, but you don't ask for help, so you think help is not available. So there must be one trigger when you find courage in yourself and ask, can you please help me? And this is where everything can start. So for me, as you mentioned, with my coaching name of UTRANSFORMU, because this was one of the first messages that I got from this workshop, and then the journey through the coaching, that only I can change myself, only I can transform myself to something that I want to be. I cannot wait for someone from outside or something, like a miracle happen, and say, the miracle will say, Slawka, here you are, you are cured, you are healed, and now you will be happy. It doesn't happen. You have to start with yourself to make the decision that you want to get better. Then the decision that you will ask for help, and then the decision that you will follow the steps that you need to follow in order to transform yourself from the full of pain and hurt person to the person who is now full of joy and happiness. So that's why I really love this name too, because it reminds me my journey and my realizations.
Wow, that is so true, that there is no one else can help ourselves unless we reach out for the help, unless we accept the help. So I really love that name too, You Transform You. So I was just wondering, how come you will go to that workshop? Is that something or someone that asked you to?
I was searching through, so I don't know where it is, a divine thing, the magic. Maybe this was this one magic that happened in my life, that when I was going through Facebook, just mindlessly, checking Facebook, and then there was like just advertising for this free workshop. So I said, okay, I'll go there. And I invited my friend as well to join me. So we were looking at this more like, okay, let's go spend time together. Maybe we will learn something. And it was the very trigger that changed my life.
Wow. So it's probably the universe listened to you, and that's why you attracted this workshop. And since then, your life was changed since that workshop. Is that right?
Yeah. Not the very next day, but the change already happened when I could see it is possible to have something different.
Well, that's so good that you decided to join the workshop. So is that why, so throughout from that, you say that's the point when there was the change happen. So how long did you take from that workshop to who you are today?
Because on this very workshop, and it was very funny, because together with my friends, we were saying, and whatever they will try to sell to us, we're not buying, we just go there to listen, and that's it. After the first hour, I was already on it. Like, I want to do this course. I want to be part of it. I want to learn more. I want to know more. I want to know all the tools that can help myself. So I was thinking more in sense of, I want to learn about the coaching to help me. So it started from me. I wanted to help myself.
Yeah.
So then I've enrolled on the day, like I went there straight and I enrolled for it. And then like, I think it was a month later that I joined for the already for the beginning of the course, where I met you.
Yeah.
And this is where, day by day, following different topics, subjects, and commitment to it, that I was able to complete the course. But in the meantime, also started, working more with people. And it also showed me at this very moment of how much I'm capable of, because I was single mom of 2 kids that were young at this stage. I had full-time job with the full responsibility of 20 team members. I was the manager of international recruitment. And at the same time, doing a very demanding course. So then it really showed me how much I can do in life, and how much I think I appreciated myself before. Like, I've never seen this strength in me prior to my divorce.
So you were saying that because of the course that you're doing, and you're juggling between your 2 little girls at time and then your full-time work, you actually see the power in you throughout that time, because you wasn't realize that there's you have all this power, or the drive, or the hunger to become successful until you were in that moment.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's so powerful. That's so we actually didn't know how powerful we are until we were put in that situation. Is that right?
See, and this is where it came to me, realization of, this saying, you are stronger than you think you are. And it was so true to myself. So some of my workshops I was running with this topic, because to me it was like a revelation, something that previously I just thought, okay, it is just a saying. It made such a like I could even touch the meaning of this saying. And so many people, so many of women, they don't believe that they are strong till they are put in the situation where being strong is the only option and they can do it.
Yeah, that's why I always believe that every woman, there is a lioness in there that's probably sleeping at time until there was like trigger to be unleashed their inner lioness. And definitely at the time, you were the lioness that's being awake.
Yes. So sometimes life has to push us to see the courage and the strength in us, because otherwise we become very complacent. And very often we just give up our own needs and wants for the sake of family or your husband, because this is how we were taught to give and give and give. Till there is almost nothing left and we don't know how to get out of it. And then unfortunately, this is where the life happens and puts you in the situation when then you have to start looking after yourself and filling up, and to learn how to fill up your own cup. And this learning sometimes is very difficult because we don't know how to do it, from always giving to now saying, I am the important person. I want to receive as well. I have to become stronger. So I have to look after myself, and only then I can start giving, because I will have enough in me to give. I can't give from the emptiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember when we were doing the coaching course, it mentioned about the hero's journey. You didn't realize that you are that hero until you probably met with the demon along the way, that you know what you should be doing.
Yes, and how often we try to avoid it. We try not to face difficulties. We try to avoid until, like, really life is just poking us, like, show me that you can, show me that you can do it, show me that you want to have happy life, show me. And when we say don't, quiet, keep quiet, then the life goes like, now here you have, now you have to show me, you have no other option.
Yeah, because sometimes we are too comfortable that we just want to stay in that comfort zone until probably we have to be pushed, then we got no choice.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that story, Slawka. I really admire your strength and your power, and look at where you are today. And yeah, it was like, I know that it wasn't going to be it's not easy at the time when you are facing with the stages of the divorce. So I was just wondering, with that with your divorce, it's always sometimes the one that is like impact was the children. So at the time, I was just curious, was that impacting a lot on your girls?
I'm sure it was, because there's no way that they wouldn't be impacted. This is the total change of the environment, the dynamic in the family. They saw me upset, they saw me crying, because even if you try not to show it, there's no way that you can keep smiling and pretending nothing happened. So definitely they could see those moments when I was really upset. The good thing that happened, they forced me to become stronger, because I wanted them to see that it doesn't matter what you're going through, you can still look at those things on a more positive way, that you can still create something better out of it, that you as future woman, that you have rights to ask and demand to be treated with respect, that if you don't like something, you have to speak up. that if you don't agree with something, you have to say what you really want. This is the basic thing. You need to say what you really want. But in order to say that, you need to know what you really want. And I think this is when we very often get confused in life, because we don't really know what we want. And then we listen to other people telling us what you should be wanting. And this is when we're getting confused with life. So with my girls, the very beautiful thing that I'm hearing from, time and time, when girls tell me that they had beautiful childhood, and they never mention that there were difficult parts of it, because we've managed to create something good out of this experience. So when they saw me crying, and of course they were scared at the time and were asking mommy what's happening. And for me, instead of saying no, nothing happened, I just said I'm just very upset right now, but it will pass. I just need to get those emotions to go away from my body. I need to let them go. So I wanted them to also show that it's okay to show emotions, but at the same time, I was making sure that they knew it will end soon. So I need to let go of the emotions, and then we will have fun. I need to go through them. So I think it helped them as well to see that dramas happen in life. This is part of life. But it doesn't mean that the drama has to define you for the rest of your life. So when they tell me now that they had beautiful childhood, and they don't even mention anything about having some bad memories of this time, yes, it just shows that I've managed somehow to kind of limit the bad experiences that they could have gone through. I think it's very important, as difficult as it is so important to communicate with your ex-partner, ex-husband, even if you are triggered so much that you want to scream and swear, that you put yourself higher than this need to scream and swear, that you say, I'm a better person. I'm the person who can think clearly because I know what I want in life, and I know who I want to be in life, and I want to respect myself, and following my need to scream and argue, especially in front of the kids, will not put myself in the respect that I want to create for myself. I think it starts from who you want to be as a person. Who would you love as a person? Who would you respect as a person? Who would you look up to as a person? And then when you know who this person is, then it's much easier for you to control your emotions and control your anger. And then you start feeling proud of yourself, that despite of the triggers, you stuck to the person, the scenario, the model that you want to become.
Wow. That's such a beautiful sharing there, Slawka. I love that when you were saying, you were telling your girl that the incidents that happens or the things that happen doesn't define who they are. I really love that. And I think you're right that communication is so important. So how old were your kids at the time when they were going through this?
So Maya was 6 and Isabel 9.
No, they're still very
so
young.
My divorce, but the divorce was completed late, but this is the separation. So since like almost over 10 years now when we've started the separation and the divorce. So it's a long time now, but I stopped counting. So it is a good thing.
Wow, it's so beautiful that you actually talk with them, communicate with them, even though they were at such a young age, because a lot of parents thought that they're still young, probably they won't understand, and they just suppress everything. But instead of suppressing your emotions, suppressing the truth, you actually communicate the truth with them.
Yeah.
And
Of
that's
course,
so
with some
important.
filters, you don't say everything because I'm too young to hear all the
Yeah.
details, but you don't hide everything.
Mm,
So this is the balance where we need to know what we can allow our kids to hear, because we cannot put the burden of our hurt on them and expect that from the children they will become adults helping us. This is not fair. Kids are not there to help us to heal. It is our responsibility. It's not their responsibility.
That's such an important message for those of the women or even the men who go through this phase like you. And then I really love that you were saying that you put yourself at the higher level where you see yourself at who you want to be, and see the whole story, the bigger picture at the higher position, so that instead of like the hatred you have on the other half or your ex, but you put yourself at the higher levels. You know who you want to be, and that's why it allows you to be calmer and more rational when you are communicating.
Yes, not easy, but it is doable and possible. I know.
Yeah, that's so that's such an important message for all the people who are going through this stage at the moment. That's so useful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Slawka. And so how, for the challenges that you mentioned prior to was that all these challenges that you overcame, was that after the life coaching courses or before?
During, because I think that our transformation or change or becoming better starts at the moment when you decide that you want to change. So already there, by the decision that you make, you want to start working on yourself, you want to feel better, you want to get more. The decision is the beginning of your journey, and it is the most important step. So going through my challenge of dealing with my emotions started when I said, this is what I want. And I'm not pretending that I want to get better. This is really the time that I want to get better, and I will do work. Because this is another thing, when we say we want to change, we want to transform into someone better, but we are not willing to put work into it, then it will not happen. You have to be prepared that there will be moments that will be very hard, very challenging, because you will have to face the truth. And sometimes, or very often, the truth is not nice. One of my truth was that part of the divorce is my fault, in a sense that I didn't say what I wanted. And experience or to realize that there is, whatever happened, responsibility is on both parties. Although, maybe one side does something more horrible, but there's never like a guilt or fault of one person, one side. So taking responsibility for the part that was ours, it is very challenging, it is hurtful, it is painful, but at the same time, like you feel a bit more free as well, because if you can realize that this is what you were doing and you could have done it better, now you can have a chance to do it better with the new person, because you've learned. So the most important things are find the learnings. So don't be grateful for the experience. It was, I repeated so many times when people told me, oh, you one day you will be grateful for this experience. And I say, I will never be grateful for this experience because it was horrible and that's it. Experience was horrible. Learning from this experience, it is something that I can be grateful for. And myself, being able to go through it and now feeling how I feel right now, this is what I'm grateful for, not the experience itself.
Yeah, of course, it's the learnings from the experience that you've been through that's you are grateful for. It's always a saying that the life is happening for us instead of happening to us. That's or I have been mentioning this line throughout a few of my conversation with different ladies as well. So yeah, it is such a I think it's a learning journey for you, and then definitely it's going to bring you a lot more great learning in the new relationship. And I know that you have a wonderful relationship now with your partners now, is that right?
Yes, this is so it's I tell you something. I had another partner prior, and he was such a lovely person, but I wasn't ready at this point. So we had beautiful couple of months, but in the sense that I never said I love you, because I didn't love him. I had really good time with him, but I wasn't ready to commit at this point. And again, with my first partner, he showed me how it feels when someone really loves you. So he opened myself for the future, to be open for love for someone else. And I think we have to, after breakups, divorce, we have to be open on other people to see what they can teach us as well. Be honest with them, but also don't avoid friendships or relationships, because you both learn from each other. You meet each other at a specific moment to learn from each other. And with my first, this partner after my ex-husband, there was one moment when there was just some match on TV that he wanted, a game that he wanted to watch. And I said, okay, so I'll just go to the shops to buy something. And he said, okay, I'll go with you. I said, but you want to watch the game? And he goes, no, but I'd rather go with you. And I started crying. I said, oh my gosh, what happened? Why are you crying? And I said, because this is, for a long time, I haven't experienced that someone just give up something that they wanted to do just to spend time with me. And it was such a beautiful thing for me as well to just experience that. Because it allowed me to see that I am lovable, that I really attract love. And I can attract love. I just have to be open on love, or for love. And now, yes, I'm now with Peter, that, I've grown up to this relationship. I open myself more to this relationship. But also what I can definitely see the difference between now, like my version of now, and my version with my ex-husband, I put myself first. And it's not because I'm egoistic. I'm actually a loving person by doing so, because it makes me happy. And then when it makes me happy, again, I can give more. And also I can show the clear boundaries. So the person who is with me, or, in the future, whoever is listening, the person who is with you, when they know clearly what you love, what you don't love, what you allow, what you don't allow, what you expect, what you totally ignore, when you tell them, it's so much easier to communicate, instead of saying, all right, that's okay, but down deep, you wanted to say no. It creates confusion in the relationship, in communication. When you know yourself, you show what your boundaries are, it's so much easier to then, direct in the relationship.
Yeah, that's so true, because it's like a lot of time partners, or the husband or wife, they expect others to understand them without even voice out what they say. And I love that you were mentioning that it is so important for us to really know what we want, and then to express it, because a lot of time during the relationship, people tend to oh, I guess that, or he know that what I want, or she know what I really need. But in actual fact, we are not them and they are not us. Don't expect others to understand us.
Yes, just by doing, making the face, you expect that they know what you mean.
Yeah, a lot of the time that's the reason why people get into a misunderstanding, and then at the end probably they just didn't get what they really want.
Yes, and then we are upset then with the other person that they didn't give us what we wanted.
Yeah, that's so important. That's a important message for all others relationship out there. So I know that you have a very good relationship with Peter now. So before you say after your divorce you had a relationship with another guy and now Peter. So what are the things that you are looking for in the new relationship nowadays?
I've realized that I sacrificed so much of my time to my family that I loved dearly, but it sacrificed to the point that it was really diminishing me. So it's so important to have the time for yourself, for your hobbies, for your friends, for things that you love doing, and this is not negotiable. So I think it's very important. Like for me, I have things that are not negotiable, that are mine. And for Peter, he knows if I say I'm doing something because I love it, this is what makes me happy, I will do it. I will go somewhere. I will spend time the way that I want to spend the time, because then I come back much happier. Very often in relationships, we think the more we give our time to the relationship, it will be better. But actually, this is not the case. When we value our own time, again, filling up our own cup, this is what makes relationship better. And the same, of course, refers to the other person. We have to be trusting enough for the person to have their own hobbies, own time that they want to do, and then coming together to talk about the day, talk about, your experiences, and not being like so closed with each other, because the closeness is killing the relationship. Too much closeness, not allowing other people, not allowing other experiences.
Wow, that's so important. Self-love, it's probably the top priority in any relationship, instead of just being giving and then thinking that they have to allocate all their time and energy to the family, to the other half, and ended up, like you say, it's diminished yourself.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Slawka. So I know that it has been so much golden nuggets that you share, especially hearing your story, how you overcome your darkness, which is the challenges that you've been through, to where you are today, having this happy relationship with Peter. That's such a beautiful sharing. And also how you overcome your challenge and communicating with your little girls while they are in that stage. That's a lot that you are sharing. And I got one important message that you mentioned out there is self-love as well, in any relationship. That's a lot. Thank you so much for sharing that, Slawka. So if you are going back to your 18 years old, because you have been through a lot since then. So if you have a chance to go back to your 18 years old self, what will be the one piece of advice you will give to your 18 years old self?
When I'm thinking about 18 years old Slawka, I'm thinking of that person who would probably not listen to any advice, because as a young person, you just know better, is it?
True.
But yes, something that I would really like her, being me, young, to take through her life is to believe in herself. Believe that it's okay to say no, and it's okay to demand things and demand more from people. Not to putting boundaries down to please people, but actually to put them up to please myself. And this way, then I would avoid many, or at least some, of disappointments that have been created because my boundaries were very low. So knowing your boundaries, putting them higher and putting them there so you can fill them up with your own needs.
Well, I heard you mention a few times during our conversation, Slawka, you were saying that prior to this, you probably didn't really voice up as much, or you didn't really have your own boundaries. Is that to do with your culture or with your upbringing?
Definitely, this is upbringing. You know, from being from Poland, from traditional family, a loving, beautiful family. But there is this myth of being the best mother when you sacrifice yourself, when you are almost like a martyr, that you don't have time for yourself. Everything all the time you spend for kids, all the money you spend for kids. So this was a glorified picture from the past. It's changing now, but I was still, in a sense, like brought up with this picture of mom sacrificing, and it was a great thing. When now I really want my girls to see that mom doesn't sacrifice, and it means that she loves you even more.
Wow, that's a tradition. Probably is not only Poland, like everywhere, even my culture as well. Moms or women have to sacrifice for their family, and I love that you put out the message there to all the women out there to learn that we have to put ourselves first so that we can give more to others. That's such an important
and how
message.
our girls will learn if we don't show them that. It will continue. The sacrifice will continue. And sacrifice is usually connected with not having happiness. I mean, I can't see sacrifice as a happiness. Sacrifice meaning that you are removing something from you that actually you love, but now you have to give it away. Sacrifice. And I'm telling my girls, when they ask me sometimes now, of course they are older, so it's a bit different, but even then when they were younger, they asked me for something. But at the time I was busy with something else. I didn't just say no. I said, right now, mommy is doing this, and this is what's important to me. I will, whatever they wanted, we'll look at this later. I finished this one first. So I wanted them really to hear this message. I'm doing something important for myself now, and then I will assist you. Of course, unless it was some emergency, this is a different story. But yeah, I wouldn't drop everything just because they wanted me.
This is such an important message for not only the woman out there and also for the young girls out there, because I think as long as the woman out there listening as a mom, then to love yourself first, to put yourself first, then you would teach your girls to be the same, instead of like you say, continuing the generation of being a sacrificed woman.
Yes.
That's so important. And then I love that message. Thank you so much for that, Slawka. So, and it has been a lot of information once again that you share, and I find it very, very useful, especially for all the women out there. What would you tell someone who is probably going through the divorce or separation at this time now? What is your advice for them?
The advice. So first of all, it will be hard. There's no point of putting a sugar coating this. It will hurt. It will be very painful. You will cry a lot, but there will be a time when it will end. And this time can be shortened when you ask for help. So you can choose to try to do it on your own and extend the time for many years. And sometimes you won't even be able to heal after years, because as we said, time is not healing the wounds. You are. So ask for help. And another advice is decide that this experience, of course, when you go through this initial pain, because you cannot just jump over it. It will be there. It will knock you out. You will be crying on the floor. It will happen. Let it go, like crying. Cry it out. But then decide what this experience will be for you. Who you will become because of this experience. Would you look at this experience constantly and forever till the end of your life as the horrible experience, or the experience that has taught you that you are strong, that you are capable, that you are really beautiful, that you can love, that you can be loved, that you are open for opportunities, that you can see beauty in the world despite of this experience? Whatever you decide that this experience was for you, this will be true for you. If you say it was horrible and I'm damaged because of this experience, it will be horrible for you and you will be damaged. If you say this experience was horrible, but despite of that, I am becoming a better person, this will be truth for you. And I really wish for all the women to choose the second one, because we are all capable and strong and beautiful. And we all deserve to be happy again.
I love that. That's so true. Instead of being in that victim mentality, being stuck in that, like the dark hole forever, choose to, like what Slawka was saying, to believe that you are lovable, you're capable, you're powerful, and the power is in your hand to change, to be a better self. Oh, such a beautiful message there. So, and yeah, that's a lot that you've been sharing. I really appreciate that. I'm so grateful for that. So before we end our conversation, I knew that you just mentioned the message for all the lady who are going through this separation process. But for all the rest of the other women out there, is there anything that you wanted to share with them?
Yes, oh, definitely. Because as you were saying that, and I'm going for all the other women, if you are not forced to go through this horrible time, painful divorce and separation, and you have a chance still to have your relationship, please stand up for yourself. Make sure that you look after yourself. Make sure that you know what you want, and you can still be a happy person in a relationship when you really open up and say, this is what I allow, this is what I don't allow.
Yeah.
And and one more. And do not wait to be strong till you are forced to be strong. I think this is the most important thing. Don't wait till life pushes you to be strong. Be strong now. Stand up for yourself now. So then you don't have to be pushed by life.
Oh, wow. I love that message. That's like, oh, I love the last message that you say. Yes, don't wait for the situation until the button is pushed, then you become stronger. Choose to become strong anytime now. You can make the decision now to stand up for yourself, to choose happiness, because I know a lot of the women out there, they wait for the time to be happy. They wait for things to come to be happy. Happiness literally is a choice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I really love the message. You have been given so much important message for all the women out there. So one last thing that I wanted to check in with you, is there anything else that you any question that you want me to ask that I haven't asked?
I think you asked me everything. You can ask me when we're going for a coffee.
Yes, we definitely due for a coffee catch up, Slawka. It has been so long and I really miss seeing you. And then I'm so grateful that you are here today sharing with us your experience, your golden nuggets. I really feel so touched to have you here today.
Oh, thank you. And I'm so proud of you, Vivian, doing all those projects and being involved in so many things and showing everyone that you can choose to be confident and strong and it's experiencing life every day and pushing yourself even more and more out of your comfort zone. It is just beautiful. You are the real experience, the example for other women.
Thank you so much. And I really love that we are on this journey together, because definitely we have been a better version of us like many, many years ago. Both of
Yes.
us.
Oh, such a difference. Yes.
No, thank you so much again for your time, Slawka, and hopefully next time I will invite you again to share with you golden nuggets, your advice for all the women out there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.